Hey, Side of Ranchy here, and I'm back with another Baldurized compilation video. And in case you're new here, in Baldurized what I do is take characters from pop culture, or stories, or myths, really anything, and I try and make them into a Baldur's Gate character. And the subjects for today's video are Huntrix from Kpop Demon Hunters, and we're getting things started off with Rumi. So for Rumi's look, I wanted to do something a little different, and I went for her look when her demon form is kind of manifesting more and she's got more of her patterns showing and that glowing eye. So for the patterns, I actually use a mod, I think it's called Rogue Tattoo, and that lets you apply body tattoos to your character. And then here I'm looking for a face tattoo that will sort of match the ones that we chose for her body. And I can't recall if the face tattoo is from a mod. If it is, it's from Lemon's Tattoo Replacer. But the one I use for the final look might just be from the base game. And speaking of mods, currently for Baldurized, I'm only using mods available in the game's built-in mod manager. I figured this constraint would force me to be more creative, but also allow the most people to follow along if they want to. And if you want to know all the mods I currently use for Baldurized, I have another video on my page that goes over those, and I'll tag that here. Okay, now back to Rumi. I gave her some earrings that I thought matched her look, and then moving on to the eyes, we're giving her heterochromia with one brown eye and one that's the more demonic, glowing yellow-orange color. I always start these builds from a randomized character model, so I get rid of the scar that was placed there, and then I'm updating her makeup to use a dark eyeshadow and eyeliner color, make it a bit glossy, and then I also update her lip color to a lighter pink. After I get her makeup to a place I'm happy with, we move on to hair, and luckily there's a mod that puts in all of the Kpop Demon Hunters hairstyles, and that's called Huntrix. So a little bit more into my process, when I create these Baldurized videos, I always start out with shorts. And I actually created Rumi, Mira, and Zoey in shorts about a month ago. And I got some helpful critiques, particularly on Rumi's video, so I have updated her hair color and her face. And I think the end result is a closer match to her in the movie. And when I went back in to update the purple hair color, I noticed the Huntrix mod actually comes with the perfect purple color match. I totally missed that on my first attempt. Also, these Baldurized compilation videos are more of like a showcase of what's possible, but if you're interested in a more in-depth character tutorial build, where I go over sliders and mods, just let me know. If there's enough interest, I'm more than happy to create those. I actually did one for Jester from Critical Role's The Mighty Nine. If you want to check that out, I'll link that here. But back to Rumi, this is the final purple that I use for her hair color. There's no highlights or graying, and then this is the final face. And that brings us on to her outfit. And for the characters' outfits, I use Fear Taylor's Camp Clothes mod, and that lets you use those 3 outfit slots up on the top right. One for outfit, one for shoes, and one for underwear, which actually doubles as an accessory slot. So for Rumi's outfit, I'm going for the look she has when they're singing Golden. There's not a lot of like skirt crop top options in this game, but I do find an outfit in a custom clothing box of that Fear Taylor's Camp Clothing mod. And the underwear is actually clipping through it, but it's in a way that it does look like a crop top with the jacket and a skirt. So I end up going with that look. When I'm working on these builds, once I've narrowed down the outfit selection, I start to dye them different colors. And a mod that I use all the time for dyeing the outfits is called Faerun Colors. It's really awesome. All the dyes are unlimited use. So for this, I'm just looking for like a gold, white, and black color scheme. I know I dyed the underwear black, and I think the top is like a gold and white combo. And then in all of the shorts, I always say what class that I think that they would be in Baldur's Gate, and for Rumi, I believe I said a Hexblade Warlock that uses Shadow Blade, but what I missed is she should absolutely have Bard in there too, maybe College of Swords. This is Rumi's final and updated look, and now we can move on to the next member of Huntrix, Mira. So for each character, I wanted to put them in an outfit from a different part of the movie. So for Mira, we're going for the look where they're in like kind of the infiltration outfits and they get on that game show with the Saja boys. I start Mira off by cleaning up some of the randomness and giving her her hair from the Huntrix mod. This is also when I didn't realize the exact color match for Mira's hair was part of the mod you could find. So I end up experimenting with color for a bit here, and I actually do land on something that's pretty close. But just know you can get that exact color match through the mod. It'll be at the bottom of the hair colors. I also just wanted to take a minute to say I'm still pretty new to content creation, so very interested in any feedback you have, whether it's critiques on existing videos or suggestions for future content or improvements, whatever it is, please send it my way. And if you're liking this content, please like and follow, and if you're interested, I've got cute channel stickers in my shop. I worked with a talented artist named Root Vector. You can find him on Fiverr, and he specializes in making mascots. Okay, now back to Mira. I gave her some punk earrings, a darker lip, brown eyes, and for her makeup, I was looking for mascara that was kind of brought down to 2 points, kind of like war paint, but I couldn't find a great match. It kind of just looked like she had been crying, so I do end up changing that at the end. And then I'm also looking for a face that kind of better fits her tough persona and like cold stare. I make a couple more adjustments to makeup at the very end, and now we're ready to move on to her outfit. And like I mentioned earlier, we're looking for sort of like an assassin infiltration look for Mira. I'm also looking for elements from her other looks, so like an asymmetrical shoulder pad and then her choker necklace. Oh, and just for fun, here she is in the golden look we used for Rumi. I think this look could actually work on any of them. And once I've narrowed down the outfit selection, I start dyeing everything black, but I do end up landing on like a black and dark purple color after I looked more closely at the reference images for this scene in the movie. I believe the armor and boots I end up settling on are both drow leather armor, and then I equip the choker necklace and the underwear slot as her accessory. And for Mira's class, like Rumi, I think we need at least a few levels of College of Swords Bard, but then maybe mix in a couple levels of Fighter, maybe a spear-wielding Battle Master. Let me know what you think. And with Mira's look complete, we can move on to the final member of Huntrix, and my personal favorite, Zoey. And for Zoey, I'm going for the look that she has in the promotional art of the movie and the first kind of performance that they do. And to start off, I get rid of some of the randomized character craziness, and I do keep her bald just for a bit, because a lot of people think that that's what this series is at first, that I'm just making characters bald, and you gotta give the people what they want. But I am gonna give her hair at some point. However, before I do that, I pick out some earrings I think work for her. I give her brown eyes, some eyeshadow that's more like a lighter maroon purple type color, and pink lips that are a bit more glossy. And now the moment has arrived where we give her hair, and it's coming from that Huntrix mod that I've mentioned earlier, and then we switch the color to black. And this is when I realized that the Huntrix mod actually comes with the hair colors that you need, and black is generally a color I can get right on my own. But it's all a learning process, and now the last thing to do is pick out a face that suits Zoey. I'm looking kind of for like a bright-eyed, innocent look here. And once I land on a face I'm happy with, it's now time to move on to her outfit. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going for her look earlier in the movie where she's got a crop top and baggy pants and big shoes. Oh, and here's that golden outfit making another cameo. I just was kind of obsessed with it. I wanted to see it on all of them. Anyways, once I narrow down the outfit options, I start pairing them with different shoes to see what works. And then it's time to experiment dyeing the outfits different colors. I'm using that Faerun Colors mod, and then I'm looking for like a teal and yellow combination. I find a dye that I think works, and then I test it on all the outfits I picked out, and then it's time to add an accessory, which I end up going with a pair of gloves. And for Zoey's class, of course, we need College of Swords Bard, and I think maybe mixed with an Arcane Trickster if you're looking for only classes in the base game, though I think there's a Soul Knife mod which would be perfect for her. And with that, the Kpop Demon Hunters are ready to take on Faerun. And if you watch this whole thing, well, you might as well like and subscribe.